Welcome back to the Proactive Women Podcast Club. We're so happy that you came back. There's so much that we can learn from our pilot, Joyce Palmer. Now, I'm your co-pilot, Fran, and we're going to take you down, Joyce is going to take you down this journey because we need to know some terrain we haven't seen or felt before. So, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, because men are our allies too. So, Joyce Palmer, our pilot. How are you and where are we going today?
Yes, Francine, we are taking a tour today. First, I want us to put on our classic black pumps because that's what Social Security is in your financial world. It's your classic black pumps. Everyone has a pair and they're classic. So they go with everything. We need them in our wardrobe, right? That's what Social Security is in your financial plan. The challenge, though, is Social Security right now is under fire. It's in trouble. It's the talk that everyone is talking about. What's happening with Social Security? How will it impact you? What changes are coming about with Social Security? So this episode is really big. It's very important that you take notes, you tune in, and you take action because we're going to talk about Social Security as being that classic black pump in your financial world.
You make this Social Security sexy. I know the show is G-rated, but you're making Social Security sexy with our stilettos.
Yeah.
Living boldly, because that's what you said. We need to live boldly as women.
We do. And so everyone right now is debating about Social Security. We want to get educated about Social Security. We want to talk about what's really getting ready to happen to Social Security. So if we break it down, the headlines are full of fear. Social Security is going broke. If you look at your statement, it's scheduled to run out of money. The trust is scheduled to run out by 2034. Privatization, meaning privatizing Social Security, is on the table. Offices are closing all around. It's enough to really make your head spin, all of the talk about Social Security. And news alert, if you're not paying attention to what these changes are or what these changes may be, it can have an impact on how you plan for retirement. So buckle up, because today I want to break down some of the noise that's going on about Social Security. I want you to understand when and how to take it. I want you to understand there are changes on the table, and those changes will have an impact. And so we're going to talk about those changes and the possibilities of what those things will do.
I adore that analogy of the black stiletto pumps because it puts things in perspective for us to know that that's our baseline. When you think about stilettos, aren't they strong? Aren't they good? And especially if they're patent leather. I know we got a little shoe cam from Liz to see what kind of shoes Miss Joyce Palmer is wearing today, because she has a closet. It should be called a closet. It's a shoe museum. Can we say shoe museum? She's got one of those. But she's a great example of you can have everything you want and save money and invest money. So when you talk about that analogy of the black pump, it's like the black little dress.
It is. It's about the black little dress, and Social Security's black little pump. So when you look at Social Security, think about it as being the foundation. It's the foundation of your retirement plan. It's designed to give you guaranteed income for life. You pay into Social Security while you're working. And so the idea is when you retire, Social Security is now going to be your biggest, in some cases, supplement to your income after you stop working. So it's your retirement income. And so what's happening now when they're talking about changing the way Social Security is set up, when they talk about privatization of it, that means that you have to invest it yourself. You have to manage it yourself. You have to ride that market roller coaster, right? So there's no more guarantees if that's the case, which for some women that could be problematic because you may have been out of the workforce for a period of time, or your income may have changed slightly or over the time you were working. So your contribution and the amount you put in is similar. So when they take away that guarantee or that predictability, there goes the predictability and the guarantee of your income, which is what Social Security is supposed to be. The foundation is supposed to be guaranteed income. So when we take the guarantee part out, that could be problematic.
Wow. Is it really? Okay, I just have to ask this fearful question because sometimes it is in the back of our mind. Can we really invest in that privatization world? Or can we have you help us?
Well, that's a good point because with Social Security, if it did go in that direction, there would be even a greater need, in my opinion, to work with a financial advisor. All the entire process of your retirement planning. Right now, a lot of times we think about working with a financial advisor when we're getting close to retirement because we're like, okay, I need to figure out how to get my money out of these accounts. But if Social Security becomes something that you have to manage and invest from day one, then it's going to be very important to have someone guiding you and helping you manage that money from day one while you start working versus in the later years. So Social Security it's been around for, like I said, 100 years. It's designed to give you some predictability, some guarantees with your retirement. That's not the only change over Social Security that they have on the table. Both aisles go back and forth between how to fix Social Security. We know it needs to be fixed. There are certain things that both sides agree on, and that's that maybe move the age up. So instead of getting it as early as 62 or your full retirement age is 67, maybe at 65, 68, 69. So that's something I think both sides agree on if we delay it. But that too can be problematic because some people, especially women, start taking Social Security early at 62.
I was going to say, what is that magical number?
Yep.
62.
Well, 62 is the earliest you can take it. The magical number is normally your full retirement age, which depends on the year you were born. So it could be 65, 66, or 67. For most people, going forward is 67.
Wow. So the quality of life, we just want that, Joyce. We just want a good quality of life, whether we're on Social Security or working. But it seems to be a juggling act. I wish we had found you in our 20s. I so wish we had found you in our 20s. Because you would have told us when we were in love and all that good stuff to, plan for a rainy day. Is that what our grandmother said?
That's what my grandmother always said. Plan for a rainy day and put your pennies away, right? So I think that as we're really looking at the seriousness of what's happening with Social Security is that it's time to have a conversation. That's why our next important date that everyone needs to write down, because I know you're taking notes, May 29th, we're having our Social Security seminar, Social Security and Stilettos workshop. It's actually going to be a webinar, so you can watch it from the convenience of your home. We're going to follow it up, however, with an in-person workshop in our summer school series that we talked about in the last episode. So if you didn't catch that, go back to the last episode. But to sign up for the Social Security webinar, I need you, because it's hot off the press right now, I need you to go to info@jpfinancialgroup.com. That's info@jpfinancialgroupllc.com, and register, or say I'm interested in getting registered for the webinar on Social Security, because the seats are going fast. We only can hold a certain amount of people in the webinar. So you want to go to info@jpfinancialgroupllc.com, Save Me a Seat, the Social Security webinar. And then you want to make sure you tune in. Okay. Because we're going to really evaluate and discuss not just the fact that if it becomes private, but what if it becomes means-based? That's another theory they're putting on the table. Or what if they do change the age? What does that mean? And then more importantly, what most of my women clients want to know is how is this going to impact me? If I'm already taking Social Security, or maybe I'm close to getting ready to take Social Security, can they take it from me? I've been paying in it for years, and now all of a sudden they change the rules. How will that impact me?
Right. Because for someone who is on Social Security, I was shaking in my boots. But I always go back to Joyce, and I'm going to put the listening ears now, and I advise folks, put the listening ears on. You know what I mean? Jot down the notes you need, because so much is changing so fast. And who can keep up with the news, and which news outlet should we believe?
I listen to all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I'm a kind of a nerd that way, so I get excited with listening to the news. So I kind of listen to all of them. But I think the best news for you is going to be tuning in to the Proactive Women podcast, right? Tuning in to the Proactive Women podcast, following us on all of our social media platforms, plugging into the Summer School series that's coming out June, July, and August. Get your seats for that summer school. Get in that session that we talk about Social Security. We're also going to be dealing with the 401k. So if your 401k is misbehaving right now, then we're going to have a class on what to do with your 401k, how to make sure it's allocated properly. What about the rollovers? Can you do that? And then we're going to follow it up with a class on life insurance. So life insurance is the little black dress in your financial wardrobe, right? You have to have one or two, maybe even three, but it's a classic, just like your stilettos. So life insurance, we'll talk about that in one of our summer steerings. So the best way to stay in the know and be proactive is starting with the Proactive podcast, and then signing up for following us on all our social media.
I love it. So if you've got questions, info@jpfinancialgroupllc.com. And you can just go to the website as well, JP Financial Group LLC, jpfinancialgroupllc.com. The phone number, 704-543-6269. Let me say it one more time for the folks in the back, 704-543-6269. I'm your co-pilot, Fran Marie. Our pilot, Joyce Palmer, the managing partner of JP Financial Group, steers us in the right direction all the time. Now, we may have a little bump in the road, but you know what? We're going to get over that bump in the road and glide over it versus getting shocked about it. That's the main thing. We want to be prepared.
Right. I love that analogy. So we are definitely needing your support and your input. So there's also a Proactive Women's Club survey that's out there. So I need you to go out and take that survey. It's going to let us know what type of information you want to hear, what questions you have, how can we be even more proactive with the information. And that's also a little surprise and a gift when you do your survey. Now, of course, it's pink, because pink is the new color of money.
Say it for the folks in the back again. I love it.
Pink is a new color of money, and I'm so excited about that.
And we got to cheers on that.
So cheers on that.
Yes. Our financials go down swiftly. There are so many things I have learned from Joyce Palmer, the managing partner and CEO of JP Financial Group LLC over the years. Some of the Social Security secrets she's going to tell you, share with you. Golden. What do they say? Chef's kiss. Yes, it is. Pink is the new color of money. I'm your co-pilot, Fran Marie, and this is our fabulous Joyce Palmer, our pilot. I can't wait for the summer school series.
Summer school series is hot. It's sizzling. I can't wait to see you.
So, we're going to see you soon, right? Yeah. Thanks for joining in. And get on the website. It's jpfinancialgroupllc.com.